Dr. Seun Robinson is an award-winning effective communication trainer, speaker, and coach in the personal development niche in Nigeria with over 15 years of experience. She is a professional trainer, public speaker, coach, and mentor who works with professional brands to become profitably visible by leveraging effective communication strategies and content creation. She has over the years helped personal and professional brands create content for visibility and profiting through her coaching programs. She is an Amazon best-selling author, a book project consultant, and a ghostwriter. She has received various awards and has also been featured on magazines and blogs. She is a certified trainer with Junior Chamber International, an associate member of the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development, NITAD, and is also an associate professional mentor and coach with the Chartered Institute of Corporate Mentoring and Coaching, Nigeria. Seun is a lecturer at Delta State University, Abraka, Delta State. She is the CEO and lead consultant at Seun Robinson Global Resources Limited, a human capacity development company, and the founder and president of the Own Your Stage Africa Leadership Academy, where she mentors new coaches on how to build a profitable personal brand, a career as a leader, and influence doing what they love. She is an author of 5 books, a book project consultant, and a ghostwriter. She is also the program director at the Mogi Global Leadership Orientation Program for the Mogi Global Leadership School, where with her team prepares interested participants for a successful admission into the Mogi GLS. Amongst other positions during her undergraduate days, she was the local organization president JCI Asaba 2017, National Director of Training 2018, Vice President Northwest 2019, Director SDGs 2021, and presently the Executive Vice President JCI Nigeria in charge of the Northeast 2022. She coaches and trains in various capacities on different platforms on diverse topics. Her core areas are effective communication, book authoring, live video presentation, and content creation for professional and personal brands. She is married and blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Dr. Seun Robinson.
Evening. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Thank you very much to Ijeoma Dicta Okoye for having me and the team as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come here and share value. Thank you for the invitation to the YAMA convention. I'm hoping that in the next couple of minutes, we'll be able to share value, and I hope you're able to take home 1 or 2 things that you would run with and immediately put to action while you ruminate on the other things that are shared. Citation has been read, and that is just me in summary. And at the end of the day, basically what drives me or what makes me keep showing up like this is the fact that I know that information like this has also helped me thus far. Attending programs like these has also played a major role in my growth and advancement. And I look forward to paying it forward, so to speak, and putting myself out there to ensure that one more person finds that information that they need. That's just one line. It could be one sentence. It could be just one word that drops and it clicks and you're able to then run with it. All right, so let's get right into what we have for today. We're looking at cracking the code for profitability and global dominance in the new economy. That's the theme for the convention, and it is quite apt, very, very apt. The new economy for us varies. You could be an entrepreneur, you're just a personal brand coming up, you're a student, whatever it is you're doing, you need to ensure that you are relevant in this economy. You are relevant in the changing economy. Let me put it that way, because the economy keeps changing. So if you as a brand is going to remain profitable over time, you want to be aware of the economy at every point in time. You want to be aware of what the trends are, especially in your industry. Excuse me, what the economy is saying, what are the forecasts, with data from the past, and where exactly are we headed to. As brands, I've noticed, with my interaction with some of the brands that have gone through my coaching programs and all that, that we tend to just think it's magic. No, it's not. If you want to build a sustainable and profitable brand over time, you don't want to be a one-hit wonder. You want to do your background work very well. I was in the session, I've been in the background listening to the session of the last speaker, and a lot of us may want to jump from now and go and start thinking about how to put together a project, how to put together a program, how to begin to look for funding, how to begin to enter inside, those big networks, how to get connected to those kind of investors and all of that. Calm down. Have you sat back to do the proper homework? Have you sat back to ask yourself, what's the longevity for this brand that I want to build? And that will determine who you begin to talk to, how you begin to talk to them, and what you say to them. And that takes me or leads me to my topic for today, which I said I termed optimizing virtual communication, turning your brand purpose to profit. Optimizing virtual communication, turning your brand purpose to profit. I gave that title, and while I was putting together my notes, I just smiled, because this is exactly what Ijoma and the team is doing with the YAMA convention. Leveraging virtual communication. Leveraging what? Virtual communication. She's dominating the new economy. Ensuring her brand is profitable and cracking the code by leveraging virtual communication. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying jump and go and organize your own hybrid convention, go and do one program online and all of that. No, we're going to take it bit by bit, step by step, and I'm hoping that it will be very relatable, that you begin to take action. I'm the queen of simplified teaching. So don't worry about big English, big grammar and all of that. Dr. Seun will bamboozle us. Nah, I would simply effectively communicate, because that's what I would expect that you begin to do as a brand if you're going to crack the code and stay profitable in this ever-changing economy. Now let's start with I'll share about 5 steps or 5 things you should do and look out for as a brand to be able to leverage this new economy, to be able to leverage the virtual communication platform. Number 1 is, do you really understand your brand? What is your brand objective? Now, I'm not talking about purpose or passion. All those are valid. The question is, what is your brand objective? Why should your brand even exist? I'm passionate about speaking, mentoring, communication. It doesn't mean it's compulsory that I build a brand around that. Doesn't mean it's compulsory I build a business around that. But if I know that is where I am going, that is what I want to do, then I want to sit back and ask myself, beyond what I'm passionate about, what's the objective for putting it together and calling it a business? Because even your name is a business. Your name should be able to open doors. Your name should be able to ring a bell. Your name should be able to mean something to someone somewhere. So don't tell me, well, for now I don't have a business. Or for now I'm really selling anything. Hello, are you there? For the fact that you are online listening to me now, you are selling a perception. Other people in online as well, they'll see your comments, they'll see your reaction, your name will flash. You are selling a perception, consciously or unconsciously. So see yourself as a business, so that when I'm talking about you as a business, you're not thinking business, people that have structure, they have office, or they have people working for them. I'm talking about you as an individual first. Because at the end of the day, who makes up those businesses, quote and unquote? they are the individual persons in them. So when I'm talking business, please know that I'm referring to you. So, do you have a brand objective? Your objective has to be such that it aligns with your capabilities and then also gives room for improvement. You want to have short-term and long-term objectives. So it gives you a start point, but doesn't limit you because the economy, like I say, changes and there are possibilities that you cannot even begin to fathom now. Like they say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins what? With a step. Somebody say you must jump 100 steps or leap forward 1,000 steps. It begins with just one step. So have your short-term objectives that help you with clarity on the virtual platforms to leverage. Permit me, this is virtual communication we're talking about. So I'm just going to be talking about virtual platforms, not your regular traditional offline businesses. We are talking online, and that's why we are even in this convention in the first place, leveraging virtual communication. So what are the platforms you're going to use? What are the platforms that favor the kind of business that you want to represent? What are the tricks and hacks around them? How can you amplify your voice? Those objectives has to be clearly spelled out so that you're starting on a strong footing. But even if you have started and you're sure you didn't start right, nothing stops you from going back to the drawing board. That's the first and very important thing, because once you have it clear from the get-go, you begin to see what will work. You begin to understand what implement the tools that you're supposed to use. If you understand and you get it clear that you want to leverage ads or you want to build organically, then that informs the tools you use. Do you want to do influencer marketing and all of that? These are the objectives help you understand and know the tools you will need, and then you're able to prepare for it. For example, you already have a following of about a certain number, on social media, and you want to increase. Now you have an objective for your business, for your identity, for your brand. You want to increase your following. Then because you have an objective, you're able to say, okay, what are the ways to now increase it? When you outline those ones, you then ask yourself, which will work better for me, which is faster, or which can I afford? It simply gives you clarity, then gives you direction, and you're able to begin to implement bit by bit. Like they say, if you will eat an elephant, you start with a bite. Last, you will swallow everything, right? You start with a bite, the first bite, the second bite, and you move on till you finish the whole elephant if you can. But what I'm saying is this: define your brand objective, very important. Get it clear. It gives you clarity, gives you direction, arms you with the skills and tools, and then you begin to see that things begin to align for you. Secondly, you want to be able to create authenticity. A brand that will stay profitable over time is a brand that is scalable, and a brand that is scalable is a brand that is original. You cannot go far doing copy and pasting. You cannot go far, modeling and simulating someone else's dream or someone else's brand or someone else's business. That's not to say you're not going to be inspired by what someone else is doing. You're not going to be inspired by other businesses out there. But the question is, what is your own original input into it? What is your own originality about this business, about this brand? Or you see that content creation is making waves now. Content writers are saying they are making money. Boom, you brand yourself, content writer. Over time, you go tire. Permit me to use that word. Over time, you will just get tired. So once you're clear on your objective, you have your direction, then you want to begin to build content with authenticity. You want to create your own genuine stories. We have brands that do that very, very, very relatably well. You have Chioma Ezefani, you have Emeka Nobis, even John Obidi. His are more of wisdom, but they are very relatable. So how original are you? What's your style? These three people I've mentioned have their own unique style of creating the persona about them they want people to know and see and feel. So that when their name, rings, when their name drops, when someone talks about them, there's a certain image you have in your head. What's the image of you that we will have when your name is mentioned, when your brand is called? As an individual, as a business, as an entrepreneur, wherever you are, there has to be a persona you're building in the minds of your audience. And that's where originality comes in. That's where storytelling comes in. So your clear objective ensures you're building authentic stories that sell the persona you want us to have of you. Just like you do audience analysis, you have ideal audience, ideal target audience. There's also producer analysis. You're a producer, you are selling something, you're producing a brand, you're producing yourself. What's the persona, what's the image of you want in the minds of those your ideal audience? Or you're not bothered? If you're not, then you are on a long term, like very long term. So that's two. Authenticity, your objective. Number three, as you begin to build content around your authenticity, you begin to have people that resonate with that brand that you're building, a community. When I say community, it's not until you have a Facebook group that has millions of people, or thousands of people, or hundreds of people inside. Those on your timeline, those your friends on your primary timeline, or on your page, your followers, those that like you, like your content, contribute, comment, like, share, and all of that. They're your community. How do you nurture and nourish that community? How do you engage? Some of us, let me say us, putting myself also in that shoe, are very poor with engaging our audience, our community. You just want them to come and be liking what you're writing, putting your comments there, sharing for you. How many times have you taken time out to go check out their own platforms and reciprocate? Hello. I've been defaulting in that as well. I had to do it recently. I consciously on that, you may not be able to do it every time, but once in a while, do you take time to just go through your page, go through amazing comments that some persons have dropped? After responding to that particular comment, after liking that particular comment, you move on to the person's own personal page and then go and, react on 2, 3, 4 of their own content as well. Build your community, nurture your community. Because at the end of the day, you need community to stay profitable, to sell. Who will you sell to? You also want to start from known to the unknown. You may say, I'm going to run ads, the world is big, I'm going to reach out to people, but there's still what is called nurturing. In your customer journey, you will still nurture them before they get to the place where, or they get to the stage where they're able to then drop their money for whatever it is you're offering. You will still nurture them. So why not begin to learn and practice that? I'm trying to start as in like from the rudiments. I don't want to assume. So I'm trying to start from the rudiments that anyone can run with. Even if you think you already have an established brand, you would see brands that have millions of followers are still consistently nurturing. Not to talk of us that have just thousand, and you're already relaxed. Then you're not ready to dominate. So have your objective cleared out, clearly spelled out. Have your authentic story. Create it around your content, everything you put out, be as authentic as possible. Like, this is you. That should be it. We shouldn't be looking for the remaining part of you when we see you offline. This should be you, both online and offline. Be authentic. It is so easy to be yourself. Like, it's the easiest. You are yourself is a breath of fresh air. You're not trying to put up any fronts. It's the best place to be. So as a brand that will stand the test of time in this new economy, originality is key. And build your community, nurture your community, expand your community. Then number 4, learn at your pace. Now you're going to need, more connections, training, coaching, mentoring, support. Learn at your pace. What do I mean by that? I'll give you an instant story about myself. In 2016, I think, that I decided, okay, let me go online and let me take my business online. I started my training, coaching, facilitation career since 2009. But then social media was not really the social media of now. So I jealous those of you that are really starting out now, because overtaking is allowed. Like, the platform is there for you to try. So in 2016, I decided to, like, okay, let's go online. Let's carry ourselves online. Enough of offline, offline, offline. I had taught the whole Nigeria, training and all of that offline. Let's take it online and let's see how it goes from there. And so at that time, there was the issue of different training, shiny objects. You just want to drop on everyone and anyone because you wanted to be able to booga, so to speak, booga with the fact that I signed up for this coaching, I signed up for that coaching, this person is my coach, and they don't know you for the class because you are plenty. But you just want to booga with the name. And so I registered with this particular coach at the time, and everything that was taught in that class, like, I paid good money to be in that coaching program. Good money where I no get that time, because I wanted to feel among everything that was taught in that coaching program. Was it for 4 weeks then, or how many weeks? Was just entering this ear and coming out from this ear. Maybe I didn't understand, or I was just too blinded by let me belong, and I jumped in on that class. But I was true to myself to say it's not that it didn't deliver, but that was not my level at the time. Some of you want to jump and have Tony Elumelu mentor you. You want to jump and get into the network of a John Obidi. You want to quickly jump and cling to one person and call him mentor, coach, trainer, because you want the brand to rub off of you. But that is not where you're supposed to be. Like someone asking the question in the last session just now, asking how do you get those high network, how do you get into those networks? Can you calm down and start where you are with those around you? Look at your circle. Look at your industry. You will see those that are closer to you. Once you get close to them, you're now closer to who they are close to. That's how to grow. That's how to build. So you want to learn at your pace. You want to develop at your pace. You want to be true to yourself at the level where you are and invest at that level. So you want to scale up. You want to be able to reach more people. Have you started with building an email list? No, you have not. You've not bothered. The next thing is, I just want to run ads. And someone says, I spend 50K on ads every single day. You don't want to ask, what's the background story? How can the person afford 50K even every day? Or is it because the person has another job that is fueling? Do you think anyone wants to be wasting that kind of money in the name of impressing you? Have you started with, even if it's 1,000 naira every month to begin first? You see results, it begins to make sense, you increase, you improve, you increase, like that. The person that is now spending millions on ads didn't start with millions. Most times is a compound effect, actually. But when you hear this story, your head just goes like, God, which day will I get there? Calm down. You will definitely get there. You will dominate the new economy, but it is one step in front of the other. Okay, so you want to learn at your pace. You want to grab onto coaching, training platforms at your pace, whilst you project for a greater and bigger and better platform. Okay, these are online or virtual signature or virtual body of your business that you need to take into cognizance if you're going to dominate the new economy. The new economy is tech. The new economy has gone technology-wise, is digital. So you want to, as much as possible, ensure that your digital footprint is formidable and it's something you can be proud of, and it's something that you can now put together as a product and sell to investors and sell to those who want to invest in you. Now, investors may not be those who only give you money Investors are mentors, investors are role models, investors are those who you can pick their brain, who can critique your work, who can give you objective feedback. Not because they have anything to gain, but because they're genuinely interested in your growth. But if you continue to bebe scout, if you continue to jump like Puma, they'll just be looking at you like, continue. When you crash land, you come back to your senses. But you don't want to do that. Now, from a global perspective, I've had the opportunity to, be a part of both worlds, developing country and, developed country on this side where I am now. And I will quickly share with you what works on this side. So when we're talking about global dominance, it means you're going beyond your country. You're going beyond your locality. You're going beyond your community. You're going beyond your state. But it starts from somewhere. Quickly again, okay, I still have a couple of minutes. Quickly again, I'll share my story. I now am proud to say that I built this brand now, the Seun Robinson brand, from Agbo, Delta State, not even Asaba, where this convention is going to be holding physically tomorrow. Agbo, not Asaba State capital. But that didn't happen just like that. It happened because I had a mental shift. Your location shouldn't really determine your allocation in this new economy. No, my dear, not at all. Not when you are armed with a phone and data and internet or a laptop. No, your location shouldn't determine your allocation in this global economy. You should be able to take your chunk of this global economy cake, of this new economy cake, and eat it very well and chop and claim out, that kind of a thing. What am I trying to say? So I had to shift my brain, my head, my mental state off of being in Agbo and just tell myself, you're a global brand, launch. Your location doesn't really matter. And a lot of persons then thought, Seun is in Lagos, or Seun is in Abuja, or probably Port Harcourt. But when they hear Delta State, they just assume Asaba. Me too, I allow them assume Asaba. I don't need to clear you, it is Agbo something. But I built this brand from there. I moved on from there into a developed country. I didn't just come here and boom, Ijoma recognized me, or Ijoma just suddenly remembered that I exist and invited me here. It is consistently building this brand over time. Now you have the advantage, of this new economy, of digital platforms. You don't have to spend that long time to build this brand of yours as a business. So why not start where you are already? Some of you are limited, like is your location that is disturbing you. You just can't think of being in Ekpe or being in one local area or one village. But if you are able to connect here, then you don't have an excuse. You do not have an excuse. So I was bringing it to the global world or to the developed countries, really, if you want to move global. Since the virtual world gives you the opportunity, even before you move physically, these are some of the things that sell on this side that you want to begin to incorporate and begin to understand and begin to get used to and begin to use it in your business. So that when opportunity then comes for you to be on this side of the divide, you're not a JJC anymore. All right? You're not a JJC anymore. So in your brand or in your niche, let me put it that way, what international communities are you a part of virtually? What international communities have you joined? Or all the Facebook group that you belong to is only local? All of them is only local. Then you're not ready to move with the new economy. You're not ready for global dominance. You want to begin to join these communities and begin to network. Appear on these platforms like the sensible brand that you are. You want to curate original content that has value and begin to drop your signature on these platforms. So I challenge you, if you are not, or if you've not thought about it before, can you do that research? In my niche, or in this niche I want to build on, which are the top international groups that I can belong to? Sample 3, 4, 5 and join. Look at the 5 of them Then take the top 3 that really, really, really resonates with you and the brand you're building and the business you're building and what you do. And you can forget about the others and just be active in those 3. Because of course you cannot spread yourself thin. You can't wear yourself out thin and go and join 20 and join 30 and you're useless in all of them. No need now. There's no need, right? So can you do that? Can you do that? Number 2, this might look like a broken record, something you have heard it before and all of that. Can you use your original picture? Let me draw it like a worry person. Can you use your original picture and name on your profile? And then number 3, can you have a primary and then secondary social media platform that you are going to be leveraging on? For me, Facebook is my primary platform. Then now, because of this economy I'm in, I'm leveraging LinkedIn. Wow, like I'm building my LinkedIn. And then my Instagram is just once in a while, lifestyle things, pictures here and there, storytelling here and there. A primary platform, Facebook, secondary platform, LinkedIn. So it depends on your kind of business. Your primary platform might even be TikTok. You're welcome. But have a primary and a secondary platform. Very, very important. Then you want to build soft skills. You want to begin to build soft skills. This sells hot on the side. Soft skills. Nobody here, except they are really, really tailored kind of profession. Ordinarily, they believe so far you went to school, you have brain, you can deliver. It's now left for you to convince them that yes, I can deliver. And these are 5 top skills that I've noticed sell based on my adventure, I'll put it on this side, and the things that I have tried out. Number 1 is adaptability skills. Can you really adapt? Are you so rigid that, okay, because you said this is your primary platform, anything on any other platform is banza kawe? Nah, no, not at all. Can you adapt? If you need to, for a season in your business, move base, can you do that? If you need to move from just posting content to showing up with live videos on your platform, can you do that? Can you do videos? Some of you are still camera shy in this age and time. Hello, are you jonesing? Are you playing? Like you're still camera shy. You can't go in front of your phone and talk. Then you're not ready for global dominance. Sorry to say, you are not ready. A lot of you are warrior keepers. You can hide behind your keeper. You don't reply. You have typed. You have dropped content. Well done, ma. Well done, sir. You're doing well. But let's call you now. Come close. Leverage live videos. Can you? So I've challenged you to look for international groups to belong to. Now I'm challenging you, for those of you who have not. I have trained over 1,000 persons to begin to leverage live videos. I'm currently training a couple of persons as well. Can you go live and talk? Let's meet you, go, like your real face, your original face. Can you go live on your platform after this convention for the next 21 days? Consistently, no break. Consistently go live on your platform for the next 21 days and simply market yourself, sell what you do. Tell us about you. Have this person effect with your audience, and let's feel you, let's know you, let's see you, let's see your face, let's hear your voice. And that's partly why I didn't use a slide for this presentation, because I know I was going to get here. This is the market I'm selling. Very important. There was an international job opportunity that I put in for. One of the requirements at a certain stage, after the written, blah, 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 was to then do a 10-minute video presentation, live pitch to their top management. You're building a global brand and you can't leverage videos. Well done. Okay, I don't know how far you want to go. So very important, adaptability skills. Can you adapt? When it's content, written content, can you use it? When it's time to use graphics, images, can you use it? When it's time to use ordinary pie charts to explain your numbers, can you do that? When it's time to, do a little data analytics, just look at your your reach, look at your coverage, look at reactions. Do you even know where they are on your social media platforms, where you can check for those analytics? Those basic ones too. I'm not saying go in depth and start analyzing where your brand will be in the next 20 years based on that. No, but just the basics to see, before YAMA convention, this was where I was. After YAMA convention, based on implementing all the things I learned, this is where I am in the next 1 week, in the next 2 weeks. Can you do that? Very important. Number two, reflective skills. A lot of us, our blood is hot. You don't take time to take feedback and then reflect on it. As a business, how many times have you genuinely asked for feedback? How many times have you genuinely asked for feedback? No matter how it will hurt you, at times feedback is not sweet. I promise you, it's not sweet. Heartbreak, breakfast. It's painful more than breakfast when you are served breakfast. But it could be the revolution that your brand needs, your business needs. Have you genuinely reached out to those persons you call mentor, role model? Have you genuinely reached out to 1, 2, 3 persons and said, kindly critique my brand? This is what I am doing, or this is what I think I want to do, or this is what I think I'm doing. Am I doing it well? Am I doing it the right way? Am I reaching out to the right people? You should have 1 or 2 people like that in your network that you can use a sounding board. Genuinely critique this my brand perception that is online. Do you like the perception, please? What do you think I can do better? But no, you are all knowing. They cannot give you feedback. Even those that experience you through your products, your programs, your books, or your services, do you ask for feedback? It's only testimonial you know how to ask for. Please, can you do me 1 minute video testimonial and post on your timeline? It's only testimonial you know how to ask for. Have you asked for constructive feedback? You can do that by creating an anonymous Google form and share. I did that when I was going to pivot my brand. I did an anonymous Google form and shared it. And when I was going to write my first book, if I ever wrote a book, what do you think it would be about? And then everybody said a book on writing because I did write. I had not even started leveraging live videos. But that simply told me that's the brand I'm building. And I knew I don't want to really be niched down narrowly to writing. I'm more of a communication expert. So writing is part of it. I didn't want to just be niched down to writing. Then I knew I got to rebrand. I got to change my strategy. That gave me an idea as to know you're doing well, but you're not doing it well enough. You're doing good, but it's not the best. You can do better. Or can you do something like that as well? Or if you have people in your corner that can be sounding boards, can you reach out to them? So that's reflective, so that you take that feedback, you sit and reflect on it. That's one skill set you can put as part of your skill set that sells you on the global space. It shows you as someone who is mentally coordinated. You don't fly off the handle. You are not in the gang of, I give it back to you as they hot. I know they look at your face. We don't know. Continue. But once you can prove that you are great at taking feedback, reflecting on it, not all feedback you will swallow. Some are genuinely coming from a place of envy or whatever. Yeah, that's where, to whom brain is given, sense is expected. Number 3, negotiation skills. Do you know how to negotiate your worth? Do you know how to negotiate your worth? Some of us still don't know how to price our services, how to price our timing, how to price our products. Can you really negotiate your worth? Or you're still scared? I remember when I was going to increase my one-on-one charge from, 30K I started with to 150. To become doctor is not more. I spend money. Are you kidding me? To 150. I knew I had that hesitation, will anybody pay me 150? Kai. I had to go talk to my coach then. At times you need that staying power to be able to, but then I knew my worth. I had built myself. So I wasn't a starter. And then I know I could charge that and I would deliver on that. So remember I said, learn at your pace and be true to yourself, be authentic. Yeah. So you're not gotten to that level. Don't go and be doing long truths. You will not last long. Very important in building a global and sustainable and scalable brand. Negotiation skills. So can you negotiate your worth? Can you negotiate for platforms? Can you negotiate for a space at the table? Or can you create a table and negotiate to have people seated around the table? It's either you get a space at the table or you set up your own table and invite people. There just has to be a table and there has to be people around it. Very important. So negotiation skills is not only about when you are pitching, when you are negotiating finance, money, and all of that. Negotiation skill is about fighting for your place in the minds of your audience on the online space, especially because that's what I'm talking about, and negotiating your worth. Do we know your worth? Do we know your value? Do we know how valuable you are? It's only you that know it inside of your chest. It's inside your mind. You know your value. But we don't know it. Then how do you expect us to accord you the respect, pay you the value that you deserve? If you cannot negotiate and ensure that you buy land on our head with your content, with your show up, with the persona of you that you have built online, with your communication strategy, leveraging the virtual communication spaces. I don't really like to show my face. Have you thought of using your voice? Podcast, Uncle. Have you thought of that? Some of you have fantastic voices. I would maybe not read your content, but I could listen to your content. Have you thought about diversification as well? Very important. Okay, then that takes me to, pitching skills. That's diversification. How do you actually pitch your brand? How do you pitch your business? How do you pitch it to us? Through written content, through your books, through your services, through products, through programs, through projects. You need to be able to pitch your skills. Very important. Here, if you don't demand for it, you won't get it. Nobody will just know that you need it or will just know that you can deliver. You need to be able to pitch yourself. Quickly again, I'll tell you a story. Like, that's why I said I'm the queen of simplified teaching. Very relatable. I needed to do a project, and so I had searched and searched and searched. They work. Like, what happened? And then someone mentioned to me, or my career advisor mentioned to me somebody's name and said I should talk to her. In my head, I already had an impression about this person or what the person stands for. And she goes, no, she's more than that. Oh, that's the one you know. I'm like, well done, really? Also, I looked through her calendar. I saw when she will be at an event. Okay. And then I decided to go to that event. Now, I could have sent a mail to say I want to see her in her office. But I understood the power of platforms and timing in pitching. And then I knew if I see her at that event, she's hosting, putting together with an invited guest, it will present me in a better light. Like, this girl is serious. This is a serious somebody. So I made sure I went to that program, introduced myself, and said I would like to see her at the end of the program. She said, no problem. She would spare me about 5 minutes. So at the end of the program, of course, I didn't just go and say, Bara, this is why I want to see you, ma. Oh, thank you for this program. This is what I learned. This stood out for me. But I think we could have had a longer program. Maybe there can be an extension, because these areas, I believe, should have been dealt out with better. And that would have taken us maybe another hour. But so far, fantastic. And so thank you for the feedback. I will take that into consideration when next we are putting together a program like this. I don't wet ground. And then I said my reason for coming. Like, I need to do a project. I need a placement. And this is me. This is my background. This is my profession. This is my expertise. I just thought if, your organization has any opportunity for someone like me. Yeah. Actually, we're working on exactly something around what you say you do. I will link you up with the person in charge of that program and you can take it up from there. Also, that was it. Something that I've been looking for months. I got it because I pitched myself. Can you pitch yourself? Very important as I wrap up. And then another skill you need as a brand If all the brand that you are loving up online, go and study all of them. Study all of them. They have what is called articulation skills. If it's joke, they know how to articulate it very well. If it's serious business, they know how to articulate it. If it's a copy material for sales, they know how to articulate it. If it's current affairs, they know how to articulate it. If it's inspirational post, they know how to articulate it. Even if it's bass boost they want to give you, they articulate it properly. Do you know how to articulate your thoughts? Marry it to your brand objective, marry it to your purpose, marry it to your platform, marry it to your own authentic story, and still let it touch our brain, let it get to us. Do you know how to do that? That's what I just did. Articulate my points from beginning till now, hoping that it will register with 1, 2, 3 of you. How good are you at articulation? Can you articulate your points, your thoughts, your perception? Can you be objective? Can you not be too vested? Very important. So these are the 5 soft skills you want to begin to learn. You want to begin to imbibe into your brand and business so that you can leverage platforms. Because I promise you, opportunities will come that you will need these skills. You don't want to be caught unprepared, and that's why you are in this program now. As I wrap up now, I'm going to mention as a brand a couple of currencies that you should possess. Now, it's not pounds or dollars or naira, as the case may be, but these currencies are very important. There are 2 of them: performance currency and then people's currency. If you're going to dominate, at times it's not by your power or by your might, it is by the people that are mentioning your name in corridors of power. Do you have the people's currency as a brand and as a business? Can you be recommended? It's not all those when somebody asks on social media, I need somebody in this area, can you recommend? And they call your name. It's not only that one I'm talking about. This is about corridors of power that you're not even aware discussions are happening. And all of a sudden, someone is calling you, I have a business for you. Can you deliver on this, that? And you're wondering, when did he get to that level? They have finished all the permutation just now, just wonderful. Do you have people's currency as a brand? You need it. And that's why we talk about mentors, we talk about coaches. I'll give, for example, those that have gone through my leadership program, the On Your Stage Africa Mentoring Academy, I'm able to recommend them. I have recommended most of my students that are still doing amazing well, that are, crushing their brand. And I worked with one of them. I work with some of them regularly, but I worked with one recently, and I just sat back to reflective skills. And I thought to myself, she bought my book then, she paid for my one-on-one coaching program then, and then she joined the group academy at the time. And I summed up all she paid me. And I worked with her to ghostwrite a book, and she did most of the content creation while I worked with my publisher to do the illustration and all of that. And I paid her a full fee that she asked for. I did not doubt that she can deliver. Why? I had seen her progression. I had seen her growth over time. I did not bargain. I paid her full money, and I laughed because that is like almost times 10 of what she invested at the time. But she took that chance on herself to invest. And when I was asked if I have anyone who could work on this, I was just the middle person between the creator and the publishing firm. I just did middle, and I just did the linking. Do you have people that will speak for you? And then performance currency. Before I could speak for her, she was already performing. She had social proofs. She had testimonials from other people that had worked with her. So it wasn't a matter of only because she went through my program, of course, won't I defend her? No, because it's my integrity on the line. Anybody that wants to vouch for you is putting their brand and integrity on the line. Can we do that for you? And then you want to go global? Really? You're going to fly on some person's wings. Can they trust that you will not crush their wings? You will not pull their feathers and scatter the road for other people? Can they trust you? people's currency and performance currency. So before you start looking for that high network to enter, are you a highly valuable individual brand as well? Or you think they also won't think about what is in it for me? The last speaker talked about you giving back as well. Give more than you ask for. That is it. What are you giving back? What are you ready to give back? What are you ready to pay? What are you ready to sow? That's where your performance currency comes in. And then the people's currency. What networks do you belong to? And if you feel your network is not serving you, please change that network. Not be by force. They did not bury your placenta there. Change it. A virtual platform has given you leverage to switch, to change. In the next 6 months, 1 year, if I want to change my persona, just give me 6 months to 9 months. What am I even saying? If I consistently create content, I will build a totally different persona. People will forget that Dr. Seun was a communication coach. That is the beauty of the online platform that you should leverage on. Okay, so cracking the code for profitability and global dominance in the new economy simply stems from you understanding your brand objective up until knowing how to pitch, how to negotiate your worth, and then leveraging on your people's currency and your performance currency. Even if you do get money for accounts, make sure that account with the people and performance currency is never low. Because when you least expect it, they would stand up for you. And boom, that's your money account will just begin to explode because performance currency is speaking for you, people's currency is speaking for you. I would stop there now and take any questions before we wrap up. Thank you very much for having me.
Wow, a round of applause. I cannot stop clapping. I cannot stop clapping. This is transformative. This is actionable. I love events. I love speakers who bring up practical points, relatable points, and actionable points. Well done, Ma. I love the humor part, the uche part, and everything. Well done. Well done.
Thank you very
Please, if you
much.
have
Thank you for having me.
questions, yes, ma'am. If you have questions, please shoot it right away. We also have a platform where you could go to ask your questions and we could read it. Slido.com. There's a code that you can use to ask your questions. You'll see it on the screen very soon. But if you have questions right away, please put it in the chat box and drop your questions through the link below. For your questions, go to slido.com and put in the code, then type your question. But if you're having issues with that, please put it in the chat box and we'll read it right away. Okay, I think I'm already seeing 2 questions, and that will be it for the question segment for this session. We have 2 questions, and it says, you spoke about a point in your business when you decided to go digital. Please tell us the basic steps you took to move your business to the online space. That part of your story would help a lot of persons to embrace digital platforms. 2,
Okay.
okay, I will read both so you could just maybe articulate both together.
All right.
Articulation skills. I have had so many debates on dominating your immediate environment or locality before you can go global. What is your advice for someone who is yet to dominate their local environment but is ready to launch a global idea? Ooh. Man, did you
Okay.
get that question?
Yes, I think I did. The first one asked about how the basic steps I took to launch and when I decided to go online. Okay, so basically, first things first. It may sound mundane, but that's the truth. You want to have a proper online structure, your primary platform, like I said, your secondary platform. This is not the time to be all those posts of hide my identity, please advise, be kind with your words, but that's where they see you. You go and open your mouth there. Nah, this is not the time to do that if you are really ready to take your business global and starting from the right place. So what I did was to make sure I had a proper profile online. I determined where I wanted to use. Of course, Facebook came naturally, it was like the main thing then. And so I'm used to Facebook now as my primary platform. Number two, I joined, that's why I said join groups. I joined Head Start Africa at the time. It was Smart B Camp at the time. I joined Open. I joined some other groups as well. If you don't have money yet, to pay for more one-on-one streamlined coaching, there are groups in your niche that will help you skyrocket. It was Head Start, it was Open then. I won the Writer of the Year award then in Open. I think that was what made people, want to ascribe me to a writer. And when I did that poll, it also helped me to know where I wanted to stand and where I wanted to be. So that's two things. Then number three, I didn't start very well with that, but you should start with that. Begin to churn out as much content as you can around the brand that you want to be known for. Leverage recorded videos, leverage live videos, leverage written content, and then your comments and reaction on different posts. You want to be careful of your online signature. I remember then I was still a JJC on the online space, and in a particular group, somebody posted a picture, and once you look at the picture, the first thing that comes to your mind is something is between these two people. I think that was a perception the person wanted. And me, my mouth was very big at that time. Nobody had told me. I went there and I should be a director. I should be writing scripts for Hollywood or Nollywood. I simply created a story around that picture, which wasn't right, but I was just flowing with what was happening on that platform at the time. And that my comment generated, when your own comment now has more responses or reactions more than the main post, go, all eyes will be on you. But it was wrong. Then there was a session, we had a training session with one of those persons in those pictures, and the person made mention of your digital footprint, that you want to be taken serious, but you're a joker in comment section, and things that you're not supposed to be seeing, reacting to and responding to. Nobody told me before I went to look for that. As it was years after, but it's registered. I went to look for that particular post. I deleted my comment from it. So you want to also screen as much as you can, as far back as you can, all those digital footprints that you're not going to be proud of. You want to screen. And then lastly, volunteer on platforms with people that are going where you're going. It will help you build faster a formidable online presence that you can then leverage on. Okay. What was the second question again?
Okay, the second question was, what is your advice for someone who is yet to dominate their local environment,
Right.
ready to launch a global idea?
Now, when you say dominate your local environment, what do you mean? Are you doing physical products? Is that what you mean? But if you are not really into physical products, then your local environment is in your mind. I promise you, is in your mind. When you think about dominating, start where you are with what you have on whatever platform you have, and just launch. There's except you want to have a physical presence in your locality, then you can look for NGOs that are doing things around your niche in your locality and then volunteer with them. You have different organizations, you have Faith Foundation, you have Junior Chamber, you have Rotary, Rotaract, you have Leo, and all those associations. You can then belong to them if you want to feel like you have given to the locality where you are, you've given to the community where you are. But that doesn't stop you from still launching globally, because the online space has given you that leverage. But then you also want to have what is called social proofs. Again, I will bring in volunteering. Can you volunteer even on online platforms? Can you have groups that you can join? Can you volunteer to probably be an admin, to be a program manager? You see one of the people you look up to saying, I'm organizing a program very soon. Can you volunteer to say, let me be a part of the protocol team or all of that? Those of you in and around Asaba, you've been seeing the YAMA convention program all the while. Did you reach out? Did you volunteer? Did you, try to dominate, so to speak, locally? If you need that kind of confidence to then launch out globally. Aside that, if it is not a physical business that you have, nothing is stopping you from launching out on the online space and just take it up from there. Then, like the last speaker said, you can then come back later to create a product or a program or a project around what you do. And then you can bring it back to your locality and let that be your own service to the locality. So you have launched, you have the online presence, you have the social proofs to show, but you want something tangible on ground, on site, then you can create a product, a program, or a project, and then launch it on site and continue from there. So you can have the best of both worlds. I hope that helps.